Alrighty, so this week, week 4, section 4 in CIT48A is a continuation of what we've already seen. I'm going to back out just to show you. Right, so we're going to have a discussion. You'll have the text, you'll have some videos, quizzes around those videos. And then this week we have a midterm. So this midterm can be taken up to 5 times. 100 points, 100 questions on here. And, here's the deal. The midterm is really your check, not only for this class and what you're doing, but how well you're not just comprehending, but maintaining that information, so that if your goal is, which I know many of you have the goal of taking the certification, gives you that check of seeing how well you're retaining this information. Okay, so that's due this week. So our discussion this week is on a topic that is really fun, and if you don't know about it, I'm gonna actually have 2 paths that you can take for this discussion. The first one is, some of you, I suspect, have already done capture the flag. So CFT is the quick way of saying it, but if you've done any CFTs, right now the key is, where have you done these? There's various sites, which is what I've given a link to here. Like if you come in here, you can see kind of some of the most popular. Hack the Box is really popular. Root Me, Hacker 101, Pen Tester Academy. So you kind of go through here and look, or do a little more research and find out what they are, right? And find out one you might want to sign up for. So that's like, if you or somebody who has had experience here, right, then tell us about the last one you did and the solution that you found, because here's the idea of a capture the flag, and the first link gives you that, right? It's an exercise where you attempt to find strings and flags that are hidden, right, to purposely, vulnerabilities that are hidden purposely. So there's somebody that goes through and hides these things as a way to give you a chance to test out your skills in this area, to see how well you can navigate and find these, because they're hidden. And then you really learn to take these skills to market, to reality. And sometimes, especially for those of you that are new in here, what you're going to be doing is really just learning some of the techniques that capture the flag would highlight that you want to learn, right? So that's why I've given the path. If you haven't heard of capture the flag, right, go on YouTube or your favorite website and select a video that talks about capture the flag solutions. Right? And that you feel has some basic understanding of how it's accomplished. So don't choose one that's out of, it's like if you're watching it and you have no idea what they're talking about. So don't choose that one. Then, and here's the key, is you all need to select, if you're choosing this path, a different video, right? And if you're choosing this path, make sure it's different challenges that you're going to be talking about. Right, and here's the deal, right? So each of them needs to be unique if you're choosing this path. If you have done hack the flag, capture the could be called hack the flag. I could rename it. Okay, so again, the idea here, if you know what capture the flag is, if you didn't, do a little more reading than I showed on the first link. If you want to find some websites that are out there, if you want to go to YouTube and just type capture the flag. Right, capture the flag, cybersecurity. You'll get a ton of stuff here, right? Here, and so here's the key. My results may vary based on my searches. Yours will most likely as well. Everybody needs to choose a different one they talk about, so we get a wider variety of topics, right? 70% by Wednesday, 15 for each of your responses. Make sure those are substantive, like read the post and, really give a thoughtful answer. Okay, so now for the last item in the week, the September 3rd item, this is going to continue our research and presentation. Right? So let me go into this one, because I've given this one some thought based on what I've already seen. And when I say pull the thread, what I'm really saying is find something that you covered in the first presentation or the first, right, the results of your research, and find something that you now want to drill down on. That could have been the other way I could have phrased this. But now I want you to, like, you know, be a more specific topic than from the general conversation that you had before. But the key is, I want you to keep it conversational. And I keep harping on this, and you might wonder why. Because when you are well, this is actually about the GDP, but when you're conversational with the topic, that means you have a certain level of knowledge that you've acquired. And just reading, and I know I get it, reading the script is easier, but actually having a working knowledge, a conversational knowledge about a topic is better. And I'll show you some of the prompts I use to kind of highlight this concept. And I talk about, in general, you can use the conversation. So in GDP, right? So when you're typing in prompts, these are organized around a conversation. And the thing you want to understand is the more questions you drill down on, right, the better refined information you get. And so one of the things I did this time was I went more, like I said, what am I going to pull the thread on? And so I decided I'd pull the thread on authentication. And I used the prompt explain authentication to a fifth grader. Nothing wrong with that. Authentication is one of those words that's is around all of us, but sometimes we use it without really understanding it. And maybe a fifth grader wasn't a good level. So then I said explain MFA, multi-factor authentication, to a 10th grader. Right? And that was a good explanation. And then what percentage of people on the internet use MFA? I didn't really get a percentage, but I got some information. What's the future of MFA look like? So remember, you really want to keep this conversational. And you want to be able to converse. All right, so do that. So in your Word document, let me show you what the Word document looked like. As I did it here. This is the result of doing it. So you have a new, these are heading 1s, okay? Now, in any of the programs, and you all should be using a table of contents generated from your formatting of your content. Okay, so these are heading 1s. These are heading 1s. These are heading 2s because this is like the week. So notice I have, and I can click down in here. Right, pull the thread on, and I said, what is your specific topic that you're going to go after? And then my prompts are a heading. Sorry, that's actually my prompts are a heading. They should be, my bad. They should be a heading 2. That's better. I just missed that one. And I can actually, that's probably good because I can show you how to update the table. So here's the other thing is when you're doing this, you don't necessarily have to copy all the content either, right? Copy the content that you are interested in that helps you as you read through the document. So I'd said on the first one, like, just copy it, right? But in this case, I want you to be a little more judicious, a little more precise in what you're copying and pasting. Okay, but let me go back here and just show you this. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's what it looks like. Your table of contents, right? Up here. And which one did I? Oh yeah, I missed the fifth grader, right? And I actually want you to do between at least 4 new prompts, and I select all of it and I hit update, and it asks me the entire table. This feature is available on all word processing. So now notice how that one that I didn't have is now there. Okay. So so I talk about creating a heading 1. This is like more of the detail of what I just went over. Then create the heading 2, at least 2. Now here's the deal on the script. Remember, the script is really the part where you're gonna do an attempt to write something that is your own understanding. Because if you do that when you get to the presentation, which we will do, I think next week, right? Then you're going to be more comfortable with it, and you're not going to have to just read from something. Because here's the reality. I understand, again, it's easier, right? But it's easier to listen to somebody who's not reading. Okay, so I'm just saying, and it's the more conversational, the more likely people are to listen. Okay, now that's on the Word document. So we're using the same Word document, okay, and using the table of contents, but I want you to create a new file for the presentation itself. Now, if you want, actually I don't even want you to copy the old one. I want you to just create a new one. And you might wonder why I want you to create a new one. Well, for one thing, I would actually want to go back and look at your first one as reference as far as where you pulled the thread. So I might want to do that. So I'd want to have that old one. So in this case, I've specified the file name like week 4 and your specific topic. Okay. And like before, give me a link to both files here. Sorry, I should say files. I'll update. And again, make sure you're checking them incognito, right? That's way important to do that. So now I wanted to give you some more detail on how I would grade. Like 20 points comes from doing the formatting right. 40 points comes from your script, right? So that's why it's important, right? To really, this should be the bulk of the time that you spend on it. Did you write at least 4 prompts to include in your research? And did you include both links? Now, of course, if I can't view the links, I can't grade it. So make sure you're getting that part nailed down. Okay, I hope this helps you navigate this week. I hope you have fun with it. I feel from the content I've already seen from you all, the AI research is going well. I did have one student, and I don't remember who it was, I apologize, that actually was having problems with chat blocking it. And I think it's because the way they were phrasing their prompts, chat thought it was actually trying to learn how to break into systems, and I never thought about that as a possibility with this. So, phrase your prompts as just looking for, general content, not specific skills related to cyber, because chat might. And it's a good thing that chat actually does that, because we call those AI checks to make sure that we're not giving out information that's harmful. Okay, I'll talk to you later.